What's wrong with being confident? Oh my gosh, shut the fuck up. Whoa! Chains out, tongue tied up. Tell me, let me roll to Ortiz. Woo! Oh my! Oh my fucking god, she looks so good! You look so good! You look so... You look so good! Oh my god! Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Very casual. It's Demi Lovato.
Oh my god!
I told you I'm gonna do this. Okay. we gotta brag on you, okay? It's appropriate. We gotta do it. Grammy nominated global music singer and Demi Lovato's debut album, Don't Forget, in 2008 was followed by sold out world tours, 5 more hit records, including her most recent Tell Me You Love Me featuring Sorry.
Yes!
Climbed to #1 on the charts, no big deal. So many amazing things. You're soon going to appear on NBC's Will and Grace, Netflix Eurovision with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. I mean, you're going to clap again. Thank you so much for being here.
And thank you for having me. It's really exciting to be here.
I would die for you!
Okay, so today we're going to talk about self-love and strength. And I was really excited to talk to you about this because I think that it's an incredibly underrated topic, especially in the space of mental health and growing up, and also being in the spotlight, which you've experienced. How have you been able to navigate, being in the spotlight, and how has your opinion of it, of yourself, your work, all of it, changed over the past 5 years?
Well, over the past 5 years, I've changed a lot. Like, I've gone through a lot. And this is like really my first public thing.
We're proud of...
Forgive me if I'm a little nervous, I haven't done anything in front of an audience except for... Thank you. But with self-love, it's just like, I think if anything, over the past 5 years, I've learned that like, life is not worth living unless you're living it for yourself. And if you're doing things for other people, it's not going to work out. Like if you are trying to be someone that you're not, to please other people, it's not going to work out in the long run. So it's just better to stay true to yourself, be who you are, and do little things to take care of yourself throughout the day that will, build your self-esteem, whether it's helping others or self-affirmations or gratitude lists. There's tons of things you can do, but yeah, I mean, that's a loaded question for what I've learned over the past 5 years, because over the past year, I've learned a ton. And I feel like I've never been more in tune with who I am than where I'm at today.
Woo! So we're going to take it back a little bit to Disney days and talk about that. So what do you wish you would have known back then? Being the public eye when you were a teenager, what do you wish you would have known looking back now?
I wish that I would have known, one, that it is best to just live your life without hiding anything. So like, I think I spent so many years trying to put on the role model front, rather than just like being true to myself and just like being me. And I always I tried to refrain from getting tattoos when I was young because I was afraid that if Disney saw, I'd get in trouble or something. And really they just covered it up. It's not a big deal. So it's just better to be yourself and dye your hair purple. You know what I mean? If you want to love someone of the same sex, love someone of the same sex. Just be yourself and don't be afraid of what anyone's going to think.
Gay rights.
So what would you say are things that currently make you feel strong?
Things that currently make me feel strong. Well, I just now got back into the gym. I took a long break from the gym because I was like,
we love you.
I needed to. I needed a break to want to work out again. So getting back into the gym has helped me a lot. The past couple days, jiu-jitsu is something that I'm extremely passionate about and I absolutely love. That makes me feel strong. And then just also building great relationships in my life makes me feel strong too, because then I know I have a great foundation and a great support system behind me as well.
How have in this journey, you were saying in this past year, you really feel like you're more in tune with yourself than ever. Why do you feel like that is?
I think it's just been a very introspective year for me. You know, I've learned a lot, I've been through a lot, and I think as time goes on, as I'm being faced with challenges in my life on a daily basis, like we all are, we're human, we deal with stuff, you know, whether it's getting angry in a traffic jam or like you stub your toe or something. It's just now that I'm constantly watching how I react to certain things. Even just yesterday, like I got a message from somebody that I haven't talked to in forever, and you know, the way that I would have handled it a year ago would have been like, I would have told this person off, but I just didn't respond. You know, I took a step back, and it's little things like that where instead of just immediately reacting, you take a more adult approach and you think things through before saying them.
You've also been really vocal, you know, just about feeling good about yourself and your body. And what have you learned in that journey? Because I think that really has such an amazing impact on people who follow you, and just really seeing how confident you are about, you know, accepting yourself and having that self-love.
Well, for so many years, I dealt with an eating disorder. That's something that I talked about, you know, over my career. And what I wasn't ever open with myself about is that I was actually, whenever I was in the gym over the past couple of years, I was doing it to, and I think that's what led me down a darker path, and that I was still engaging in these behaviors. And so for me, you know, embracing my body the way that it is naturally was the reason why I took the month of October off from the gym. Because normally I would try to squeeze myself into a tiny little costume to impress somebody, right? But this Halloween, like, and I did wear the cute stuff too, but
Yes, Pennywise.
I didn't like slave in the gym every single day and be like, oh, I can't have this cookie because I have to fit into my Halloween costume. Instead, I literally took the opposite approach, which is I'm just gonna take every day, day by day. If I wanna work out, great. If I don't, then I don't. And a huge thing for me has been body acceptance. I feel like something that is not really spoken about a lot is body acceptance. We hear the terms body positivity all the time, but to be honest, I don't always feel positive about my body. You know, like sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I do not like what I see. But in those moments, I don't sit there and dwell on it. And I also don't lie to myself and try to tell myself in the mirror. I used to do this all the time. Sorry, I'm rambling, but this is really good, I promise. I used to look in the mirror if I was having like a bad body image day. I used to look in the mirror and I used to be like, I love my body, you're beautifully and wonderfully made. But the thing was, is I didn't believe it. So then I just would resent it. And every time I would say it, I would be like, you're lying to yourself. Why are you lying to yourself? What nobody taught me and I had to figure out over the past 6 to 9 months is that I have to be okay with where it's at in this moment. I don't have to lie to myself and tell myself that I have this amazing body. It's like, if I don't feel it, I don't have to say that. All I have to say is, I'm healthy. In that statement, I express gratitude and I express, you know, I am grateful for my strength, the things that I can do with my body, but I also am saying I'm healthy and I accept my body for the way that it is today in this moment without changing anything. And with that, it helped me to take a step back from the gym and not be so obsessive over that, to post unedited pictures on the internet, you know, even though I know there's going to be people that have something to say about them. You just can't worry about it anymore, and you just have to live your life for you.
Yeah. You stand up, body positive queen.
You talked about how you were bullied when you were younger, and I think also just in this crazy world, you are probably, you know, bullied, and a lot of people say crazy things to you on social media. How do you deal with that? How do you, you know, take time away from social media?
You know, people are always going to have something new to say. You cannot please every single person on the planet. You just can't. It's not possible because everybody's idea of what beauty is or success, it's different, it's subjective to everybody. So you can't please everybody. Knowing that is really helpful. Sometimes also just understanding that we now live in a world where everybody says whatever they want on the internet. So I'm the type of person where, like, if you have something to say, I'd rather you bring it to me in person. I don't believe that, I don't take people seriously when they're sitting behind a computer screen. It's just, you can say a lot of things behind a computer screen that you wouldn't say to my face. Because you know my jujitsu skills.
Punch me.
But not. And, like, it's just like, it's also, we live in a day and age where, like, everyone's so quick to cancel everybody. And I'm really, really tired of it, to be honest. Like, people just make mistakes. And if we don't learn from them, like, some things are really bad, okay? Some things are like, you don't get a second chance. That was really messed up. But, no, for the most part, people say things, and I've made mistakes, and nobody's perfect. So just understanding that, like, we live in a world where everyone's going to jump on your case for something. You can't worry about everybody. But if you did say something wrong, like, learn from it and think, okay, what can I do from not making this mistake again?
Yes.
So how do you handle, the demands of obviously, working on music and being on shows, but also just finding time for yourself and your own self-care and what do you want to do?
I kind of have mapped out my schedule where I don't work past like 7 p.m. because those hours of like 7 p.m. to midnight, those are for like me, myself, my friends, my family, whatever else I need to get done. If I want to get a spray tan, if I want to get my nails done, a massage, like you do those things in those hours. For the rest of the day, I save it for work and whatever else, and whatever else I can do. So I just set aside certain like hours in my day for that.
And so how do you decide when to engage on social media and when to just be like, I need to put this phone down, like I'm doing too much?
That's a good question. My publicist is probably going to ask the same question. Like, when are you going to stop? No. I say how I feel online, and sometimes I say too much, and sometimes, but I'm human, like I think that's also another reason why I have my fans, an awesome fan base, is because you guys respect me for the things that I have to say. You value my opinions, and it's great, but I don't really know where I was going with that. It's my first interview back. So.
Yes!
Yeah, she's doing
Thanks.
Yes.
So what do you, like, in this past year, you were saying you learned so much. What would you want, your fans and young people who really look up to you to, one thing that you would say that you would want them to know that you've really learned?
One thing that I really, really cherished learning about my life over the past year is that you have to want your life and the outcome of your life for you. Nobody else can wish the outcome of your life upon you. You have to make decisions that are going to get you closer to your dreams, closer to your goals in life, and yeah, just only live your life for yourself. And if that includes helping other people in the process, then by all means help other people. But you can only chase your own dream, and you can only live your own life, so do you.
Yes. Period.
I think also you're still at that weird, incredibly level of fame where anything that you do, people are going to have something to say and have a problem with. And so, how have you dealt with that, and how has that affected your mental health and your own space that you keep to yourself?
Well, what people don't realize, I think, is that I'm actually an extremely sensitive person. Like, when somebody says something mean about me on the internet or makes a meme making fun of me, like, I have a pretty good sense of humor, but when it's at the expense of like a very serious subject, it can be really hurtful. And if it's something that I've dealt with, it can be really hurtful. And so, I still, like, I'm human. And so, like, even if you have an account that's like, I'm a Demi fan, like that's the name, and then you only post pictures of me, and then like you leave one comment that's like, you look like Lord Farquaad.
Lord
Farquaad. Damn, that kind of sucks. And so, like, I am human, so be easy on me. And I'm so tired of pretending like I'm not human. That's one thing that I won't do anymore. Like, when you say stuff, it affects me. I am human. I try not to look, but I see it. So like, go easy on us. We are humans, you know, and like we, as in the people that like you're commenting about. You know what I mean? You don't think we see it, but we do. And we also see the incredible support and the love and the gratitude that you guys express for us. And so I know you do. I know you do. Thank you. And like when I'm able to see both sides, it really pulls me out of like the focusing, the zeroing in on the negative. So that drains out everything, and I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, you know, I'm human, and I think that's important to remember when, like, as a society, we're so plugged into the internet and making opinions on Kylie Jenner's hair color. Like, go easy on her. You know what I mean? It's just a wig, anyways. A good wig too.
So when you look in the mirror, what do you see? I know this is a deep question, but
what I see in the mirror, I see someone that's overcome a lot. Like, if I could change my middle name to Resilience, which I can, so I don't know why. I would, but I wouldn't.
Dimitri, Resilience, Lovato.
No, I've been through a lot, and I genuinely see a fighter. Like, I don't see a championship winner in there, but I see a fighter, and I see someone that's gonna continue to fight no matter what challenges are thrown their way. And I know that when I have a lot of confidence now because I have confidence in the things that I believe in and the things that I say. So I know that I can hold my own when I'm on a first date with somebody and I'm having a conversation with someone. I know I can hold my own. I can make them laugh. And so I don't know. That's what I see when I look in the mirror is a strong woman.
And conversely, I mean, what do you want others to see now? Because you have gone through so much. What do you want others to see?
Genuinely, I just want people to remember that I'm a singer. Like, I think that a lot of the things that I've been through have kind of outshined my successes in the music industry or acting now. You know, I'm getting back into acting, and I just want people to remember that. And if I can help people with the things that I've learned, like, definitely in due time. Right now, just remember I'm